Welcome, everyone. My next speaker is a very special friend. I would love to call him not only friend, family. Iman Agay, welcome. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me here, Orly. I'm excited to be with you.
So, your talk title is How to Stand Out from the Competition. Before we even get into that, tell us a little bit more about you, where you're at, just a couple of minutes of that.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Well, as you know, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and over the last few years, I've dedicated my time to create an ecosystem for coaches, authors, speakers, program leaders, to have a platform of technology that they can share their knowledge and message with other people. And then we help them to connect with one another to build joint venture partnerships and collaboration situations. And then we help them to get on stages and podcasts and summits so they can share their message and knowledge with more people and bring them to their tools and technology and through their funnels and systems and packages and programs, they can help people change their lives. That's been the last few years of my life. And as you know, I started about 15, 16 years ago as a newbie, and we didn't have any mailing list or any connections or any relationship. I could barely speak English as I'm an immigrant, and so back 15, 16 years ago was when I had just immigrated, and I wanted to become an international professional public speaker, and I actually immigrated to North America following that dream and and then hoping to find a job and kind of like build a life, which happened to get me very close to become almost homeless because when we landed here was 2009. It was right after 2008 recession, and tens of thousands of people were out of work. And everywhere I applied, nobody hired me, and nobody even got on a call for an interview with me. And long story short, I found myself about 17 days away from becoming homeless following my dream. And that morning, I remember vividly that I woke up and I realized even if a person hires me in the next 17 days, the first paycheck is going to come 14 days after. And that morning, I realized I'm already homeless and I don't know it yet. And you know, where we always say, if you don't give me, I'll build it myself. I just kind of had that vision and the power what I made. I'm like, you know what? If you don't give me a job, I'll go freaking build it myself. And yeah, on that day, I decided to start a web design company, and then there's a long story there. But 3 days later, I found my first client who paid me $1,800, and and then I paid the rent of the month and bought us some food. And I kind of started learning the web design because I sold the website, but I didn't know how to actually build it. I have MBA in online business, so I know how to do online marketing, but I didn't know how to code the website. So then I started working and building sites and working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to meet with potential customers and going to networking events and networking with people and finding more clients, and then 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. learning how to design the sites. And so that's how I kind of built my first business. Um, and
And
then yeah, that's that, and then there's a long story after that.
I know, and it's all also for whoever is listening because they don't know you and I do. And the thing is that, and we became close in the past few years also, like just maybe a couple of years. And I'm so grateful for that because you have taught me so much. I want you to talk about exactly why do you want to talk about how to stand out from your competition, because a lot of people are struggling with that. There's so much noise out there. There's so much AI, chat GPT, blah blah blah. That's noise for me. And I'm sure everybody feels that overwhelming feeling of, I don't know what to do. I'm waking up this morning and I'm lost. How do you overcome that, and what is it that you want to tell us about how to stand out?
Yeah, that's actually a really valid thing, and there are two sides to that. First, let me address the elephant in the room, which is AI, right? AI is a great tool and an awful tool at the same time, and depends on how you use it. And there is a particular framework that you can follow to use AI to stand out from the competition and also help use the AI to speed up your process of implementation with correct implementation, which actually helps you to stand out from the competition. And there is a wrong way of using it, which is asking AI to write you an ebook, or asking AI to write your sales page, or ask AI to write your video sales letter. Without really training it and also knowing what it is that you want to have. So the worst way of using AI is not interjecting anything of yourself into it. And AI keeps reproducing existing content over and over and over. Of course, that doesn't help you to stand out from the competition. However, if you act as a thought leader and you bring new thoughts to the process and use AI to amplify that for you and put it in different voices and help you to share it with more people, then suddenly you can use it in a massive way. So the AI side is not necessarily evil. It's the way to use that people use AI that can get them actually even in trouble if they don't use it properly. So that's one thing. And actually, one of the gifts that I have for people that are here is one of our conferences called the AI Marketing Conference, where we teach people how to properly use AI for their marketing, which can help them to stand out from the crowd. And I'm sure that you have ways for people to get access to it. I think it's a VIP gift, so people need to upgrade to VIP to get access to it. But I highly recommend to people to come and hang out at that event and learn how to use AI to supercharge their marketing and also grow it. But one other thing is also being in front of people where people are at. So one of the biggest challenges that people are facing right now is trying to get in front of people and get heard. Now, the issue is that a lot of times people are screaming from the top of their lungs, I can change your life, right? Except that they're screaming in an empty room. And that happens for two reasons. Number one is because maybe they're using social media for doing that, which can on the surface be great, except that as soon as you want to make a call to action on social media, for example, tell people, go and book a call with me, go to this sales page and buy my product, go, I don't know, or go to my webinar and sign up for this webinar. Social media shuts it down because as soon as people navigate away from social media stops making money. So if you're on Facebook and you put a link to your consultation call, nobody pays attention to it. You don't get a single like or even comment, except from that annoying cousin that you don't want them to like anything that you have. But anyways, besides that, right, you pretty much get zero engagement, zero. But for example, if you take a picture of your pizza and put it online, then everybody's like, oh my God, this is a fantastic pizza. And God forbid if you put a pineapple on it, then there is a pineapple fight on pizza, which gets like 300 likes and 500 million comments, which is absolutely irrelevant to changing people's lives. But the reason that that happens is because Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, none of them like to send people away from your from their website, right? Because that's where they make money. And so, but also, 65% of your audience tells you that that they want to study your content on an app. And that's the interesting thing that happens there. So people want to be on an app, and that's why they're using Facebook, Instagram, all of those on the app, and they're constantly spending time on their cell phones. But unfortunately, those apps are not yours. And so what you need to do is you need to use the power of the apps and you need to use the power of social media, but move people away from social media and bring them to your platform. But when you do that, you have complete control on people's focus. You have complete control on the education, and you have complete control of something called the push notification toward that audience. Now, what's the importance of push notification? So the biggest power of online marketing is in push notifications. When somebody tags you on Facebook, Facebook sends you a push notification that this person tagged you. You get suddenly curious, who tagged me? You click on that push notification and bam, you go to Facebook and you suddenly spend 3 hours not knowing why you are there and remembering why how you ended up there in the first place, right? Well, what if we could give you that power of the push notification, but instead of people going to Facebook, we would go to your app and to your platform. And that's where the importance of owning your own app becomes very obvious, as well as the power of the push notification. So if you can send a push notification to people, people can look at that push notification, click on it, go to the landing page, and from there you can educate them. Then, because that app is yours, you can also invite people to book a call with you, because you are not going to punish yourself for inviting people to a call. You're not going to punish yourself to invite people to a webinar with you, right? So your system, when you build your own platform, it allows you to use push notifications and educate people. And then if you create a course, you put your course on your own app, and you put your own podcast on your own app, and you put your videos and articles and all of those things on your own app, beside on social media. So social media is good for immediate initial interaction, but it's not the best place to monetize. So you want to connect with people and you want to slowly attract people to come to your platform. That platform can be your mailing list, your follow-up series, whatever it is, and most importantly, your own app. And lots of people say, Iman, but wait a second, I don't know how to do an app. I don't know how to build an app. It's very expensive. It's very complicated. And you're not wrong. It can actually be very expensive. But the reality is that there are certain platforms right now that allow you to do the exact same thing you were doing before, but also as you are doing that, it automatically builds you your mobile app. So for example, if you create a course, you need to upload that course to a website, right? So what if you could upload it to one platform, but that platform builds an app for you and the website at the same time? So you do exact same thing as you did before, except now it's doing two things for you at the same time. And so that's where comes the importance of having your own platform, having your own system, and also knowing that you don't need to do extra things. You can do the exact same thing as you were doing before, but now get benefits on two sides. And yeah, so and then historically, an app would cost like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to build. But now with companies like Actionera, which is the tech company that I'm building, in Actionera, people can just invest $299 a month and get their own mobile app, and it also gives them a bonus Go High Level account, which covers their entire technology of mailing list and social media and all of those pieces. And it just builds everything for them. So the ultimate engagement strategy is being in the place that people want you to be and consistently produce content so you can stand out from the crowd. Because the reality is that the majority of people never stand out from the crowd because they don't share their own message.
That is for sure. And before we run out of time, you also have another gift for people. But before I ask you to share that gift for the other VIP, um, what I would want to know from you is, how do you become the light in the world? What is it that you do to pay it forward? Because I know you're a very generous guy and you've helped so many people and have given of your heart so many times over. What is it that you do now?
You know, Orly, um, there are two sides to it. There is a side of it that is easy, which is being generous, which
Mm,
is being kind, which is being, um, it's just being giving. And especially as a content producer, as an educator, um, and a person who has created many programs and packages and everything else, Over time, of course, I saw the need that people need certain things. I created a program around it, and and helped and supported people to get through that and make a difference in their lives and change it. I actually have a wall in my home that I call the impact wall. That is an entire wall of messages and emails and notes and letters that people have sent me of the way that their work through like the work that we did together impacted their life and made them a leader in the world, right? But even though that is generous, that is easier. Recently, I'm struggling with something else, though, personally. And what I'm struggling with is staying the light in the face of all the divide and the gap of understandings between the groups of people. Um, and that has been much harder because every person has a certain level of awareness and certain levels of experiences. And every day that we open Facebook, every day that we open any other platform, there is this massive divide of opinions that everybody thinks the world is coming to an end because somebody else has done something. Um, and of course, every one of us have our own opinions, and every one of us think that we are educated and we know exactly what we are talking about. We really don't. But like, let's say we think that we do, right? And then, um, and then, and then you are dealing with this whole massive divide. And at that point, you have two choices. One is become another part of the noise, and two, focus on your goal of being the light. You know this about me, that I want to make a difference in the lives of 100 million people before I die. That's my life purpose. My life purpose is making a difference in the lives of 100 million people before I die. And I want to do that by helping 10,000 people to make a difference in the lives of 10,000 clients each. I don't need people to know that I was the one who changed their lives. I just want to know that my life meant something, and that's my legacy. That's why I have an impact wall, because when I look at my impact wall and I saw, for example, the founder of Teen Suicide Prevention Society has sent me a message about this, or the founder of this organization and that organization. I was like, it's a wall full of all of these things, right? And every day going to that social media platform and reminding myself that this is not the goal. This is divide. Stay focused. Stay the light. Focus on what matters. All of this is voice. Has been challenging, has been very educational, and has been very trying. Um, but I continue to do my best to stand in that power, that we need to focus on what we want to happen in life, and stop getting distracted with the noise.
I love that you said that. And there's a couple of things there that you said that are really very near and dear to my heart. Being the founder of the You Are My Light Foundation, we are building healing centers for rescued victims of human trafficking, sex, and labor slavery so that we can give them back their God-given right to life, freedom, education, and autonomy. And I don't know if you've known of this series called The Chosen. It's the story of Jesus Christ in the apostles' minds and how they saw things. And it doesn't matter who you believe or what you believe or where your belief is. I believe that you are the light for other people, and that's all you need to be. And I think love will just combine all that. Love is the glue. If you just love people for who they are and what they're doing and let them be, because I don't engage in any of that divide. I believe that I just should love everybody because we are all God's children, and it doesn't matter which God we're talking about. It doesn't really matter. It's just the overall power that be, but that we are all connected. I believe that, and that if we could just love everyone and let them be on their journey, it's like a flashlight. You know, if the flashlight is powerful enough and you only focus it on one area, it will shine brightly enough for you to see the area. But if you take that flashlight and you just flash it anywhere, the light will be dispersed so badly that you won't see anything. It will still be dark where you are, because if you just flash it to the night sky, right? It won't light up the city. So I love that you said that. I hope that, you know, what we're doing here is going to give the light to those who are in darkness right now behind closed rooms and are actually suffering in many, many ways. So I just want to thank you, grateful for you, grateful for your time, grateful for your contribution. We are so grateful that to have you here on the Be the Light Summit. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me early here, and thank you very much for all the work that you're doing in the world. Many people need what you're doing in a big, big way. So thank you very much for doing it.
Thank you, love. Have a good one.